Hello, once again, welcome to Cali Legends Media. All right, I want to thank all the subscribers. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate each and every one of you. We hit the $8,000 mark. Our next goal is $10,000 by the end of the year, God willing. I think that'll really help me keep things rolling. I'm making some moves out here and stuff, and I got a little studio set up in a place where I'm going to be living, and that room is dedicated just for that. Okay. Of course, my instruments are going to go in there. I'm going to do some instrumentals for you guys too, playing to some popular songs and stuff. Just to kick back and enjoy and have fun, and see your homeboy Lucky, do his thing as far as music goes. Okay, but I'm going to tell you about something that happened in the LA County jail system that I don't know. I think you guys are going to find it interesting story. And at the end, of course, there's always got to be a lesson. So we're going to get to that right now. Let me plug my phone in because it just told me the battery's low. My bad. Okay, so this took place in the LA County Jail East. Okay, they had South, North, Medium North. Now they have Supermax. Back then they didn't have it. East was about as Supermax as you can get, right? They had towers in the yard. They had gunners, up in the towers. They had heavy weights, horseshoes, all that stuff. It was a nice yard. Anyways, so I made a video long time ago about a fight I got in the kitchen where the Hura turned around and started looking at a mirror, and I knocked this dude out of his chanclas, his shower shoes, and he ended up on his back. I thought he was a brother. No, he wasn't. He happened to be black, but from a Hispanic gang. I didn't know. It didn't matter. He was being disrespectful to my mesa, and so I got that ass. Okay, moving on from there. He used to, after he went to the hole and everything, and he got out. He had a job where he would push a little carrito, a little cart. And for those of you who've been to East, you guys know they have like these security screens going around along the front of the dorms, with mesh. So he would come through, and he made sure that when he came through, there was no Hura sitting there at the table watching, the room, the day room. And he'd always slide me ODR rolls, the ones at the office. He rode that cart full of donuts and rolls, roscas, different things for the Juras. You know what I mean? It wasn't for the inmates. He'd go and service all the Juras that were on watch. While he'd always shoot me a box or two underneath the security gate, and I would, sell them, give them away, do whatever with them, right? Plus, I was gambling. I took a little sum with me up there from the county jail. When they transferred me to Wayside, to East, I still had a pretty good amount. And I was doing my thing, okay? And my homeboy Viejo, not Blind Viejo, the other Viejo, he was there with me. And when I would take a shower, I'd give him my money bags, because they would embroider and make these money bags where you could cinch them and you keep them down your pants. If the Juras caught you with more than the amount of money that you were allowed to have, they take it away from you and put it in your books. But it was always good to have cash. With cash you could make things happen. Okay, anyway, so when I took a shower, I left them with my homeboy Viejo. When Viejo took a shower, he left his money bags with me. So one day I give him my money bags. I take a shower, I come out, and it's and they're already releasing for chow. People are walking out already. I'm throwing on my shoes and everything like last minute. And I go up to him and I tell him, hey, homie, shoot me the money bags. And he says, oh, shit. And he went and he starts looking. And in my mind, I'm thinking, man, don't tell me, man. This dude's up to his old tricks, right? Well, he tells me that he had put them down there's a curb, like where the bunks are lined up, way in the back up against the wall. There's like this little curb, and he had sat him down there, he said. And so we're looking, and we're all stressed out, can't find them. So we're the last ones out to go to chow. So we go to chow, and we're sitting down at the table, and what they usually do is they excuse table by table for you to take it back to your dorm. They only give you a certain amount of time to eat. They just keep the rotation going, okay? And what happened was I couldn't eat. I couldn't think. Man, I was just thinking about my money, and it was a good little grip. I had 2 money bags because one money bag got too fat. I couldn't put no more money in it, and I rolled it tight, Those of you who know, you had to roll your shit tight, stick it in the money bag if it got too full. Anyway, so we go back. I get up, I take off, and he gets up and he follows me. And he's like, where you going? I says, man, I can't even function, homie. I got to go back and look for that money, look for them bags. Come on, I'll go with you. So we go back and we're looking and everything. Well, this homie comes in and tells us, hey, what are you guys looking for? And we told him, right? He says, check this out. I seen this dude go in between your bunks where Viejo was sleeping, not where I was sleeping, where Viejo, he was sleeping like across from me on that row, a little bit down. I was sleeping near the security gate, because dude would slide me shit, and I wanted to make sure all the time I was somewhere in the area right there keeping an eye in case he came through, right? The one that was sliding me the roscas and stuff, right? So he tells us, I'm gonna go kick back, and I'll keep an eye on them just to see what they do. So yeah, he goes and I see him. He's laying on a bunk with his hands behind his head, and he's kicking it, right? Just like checking things out, relaxing. And he sees the brother reach under his pillow, get in his pillowcase, and pull him out, okay? And immediately he jumps out from the bunk, comes straight to us, and he says he just took him out right now. If you get there, you're going to catch him with him in his hand. And I jumped up and I went over there, and I went straight up in the middle of the 2 bunks, and they were playing dominoes on the top rack. And I said, hey, dude, where's the money bags at? And he goes, what? And I cracked them. The other brothers didn't do nothing. They just like moved out of the way, pushed the bunks like wider and moved out of the way and stepped out. And I told him, where's my money bags? He goes, oh yeah, they're yours? Oh, I didn't know who they belonged to. I found them. They were on the sidewalk, on the curb, so I just got them. I knew somebody was going to come. Man, give me my shit. And he picked them up, and I snatched them out of his hand, right? And when I snatched them, at the same time I snatched them, I clipped them again, right? So this fool says to me, oh, all right, you're going to have to go to sleep sometime. I went back with my homies and I told them, hey, check this out. I'm going to leave you my stuff and everything, because I'm going to take care of business to this dude, right? So my older homie, he tells me, hey, homie, you better get one of them things so you could just, if you're gonna go do that, go all out. So when I was working in another dorm before, see, what happened was when I first got there, I was working in the first dorm. In the first dorm, they had the print shop, the sewing shop, where they made the uniforms and ironed the Hura shirts and all that. And they had you know, the print shop where they would print the stuff on the Juras jackets and uniforms and on the helmets and stuff. Anyways, I worked in the print shop, and while I was there in that first storm, before they rolled me up, we always look for the free workers if they forgot a screwdriver or anything that we could, you know, use to make a point, right? Well, while doing that, I found a rod that they had taken out from the center of one of the cylinders in the printer, right? And it was just laying on the side of the machine, up against the machine, and I spotted it. So I got it and I took it to my homeboy Wino, right? And I think I mentioned this on one of the other videos too. So I had taken it to my homeboy Wino, and he taped it to his chest that day, because when they rolled me up, they stood with it. When I came back and this stuff came down, I sent a wheeler over there. I told him, hey, bring me that thing if you guys still got it, or just bring me one, you know, one of the other ones. No, he still had it. So he came over by where the phones are at, and the Jura wasn't in the desk in the front. So he picks up his shirt and he pulls it off, right? With a piece of tape with it taped to his chest, right? Pobrecito, homie, that stuff had pelos all over from when he ripped it out. He went, oh, and stuck it through the security gate, right? So the homeboy told me, hey, if he has another one, tell him to get another one, and me and you will go together, right? So he shoots another one, but the dude that I'm arguing with and had hit for taking those money bags was talking with the Juras, right? So I stashed the second one he brought inside the mattress, in a mattress, just a random mattress, right? So the Juras came in, man, took everybody out, had us nuts to butts sitting outside while they searched the whole dorm and everything. And finally, they walked out with it. We seen it sticking out of the lieutenant's pocket about that far. After he shoved it in his pocket, it was still sticking out. We could see it. So I had the other one left, okay? They rolled that dude up. When we came back in, he didn't come back in with us, right? They didn't talk to me. They didn't do nothing with me. So they didn't tell on me. They just told that, hey man, them essays got one of them things, you know, I seen it come through the gate, and they came in and the Juras found it, right? But they didn't have the other one that I had stashed in the mattress. They didn't find it. So this dude rolls up, right? And I guess the homies told him that I had one of them things, right? And so he sent them fools over to me and told me that he wanted that, you know what I mean? That for me to shoot it over to him, right? And so I went over and I was talking to him and stuff, and I says, look, I mean, if I take it out of where I got it, I'm only gonna take it out if it's gonna get used. If not, I'm gonna leave it right there. He goes, don't worry about it if it's gonna be used or not, just shoot it, you know? And the vato, he wasn't nobody per se, right? Yeah, he was a homie. Yeah, he was older than all of us, you know. Yeah, he'd been around, but he wasn't that guy to come and order me to do something, you know. So I went back to my bunk and I was thinking about it, and I go, you know what? I'm not gonna give up my shit, you know what I mean? Probably gonna use it on me, who knows? So long story short, one day I'm laying on my bunk and all of his little minions were out there looking at all the bunks, man, searching. They knew that I had put it in one of the bunks. They even knew the area, the vicinity where I had put it. So they're over there trying to search the bunks and trying to find this thing, right? They finally gave up and went about their business. So after like 2 days went by, I went over there and I took it out and I shot it to my homeboy Viejo from Pomona. He was in the dorm next door. I forgot why they moved them or what the case was, but we had got separated. So I shot him a Abuela. Abuela's a small note, with little micro writing. And I told him, hey, homie, these vatos are trying to like get a hold of my strap. And, I don't want to be sleeping with it and all of that. Let me shoot it over to you, and you take care of it and see if one of us needs it, we have it. He goes, yeah, I'll be over there. So when he had the opportunity, he came over and I shot Viejo the that thing, right? About 2 days later, man, this dude Valentine, I'm not sure where he was from, but his name was Valentine. That was his plaquiazo, right? Well, let me go back a little bit. Before that dude that was asking for my thing, that dude Valentine had got into it with one of the brothers, right? And I don't know what he was doing. Maybe this is something that somebody in the comment section can help me with, because I never learned it. But he had wrapped a big, like a trash bag, those bags that we have in there that we sometimes make to make dumbbells, to lift. He had one of those filled with water wrapped around his arm, and he went over there like he was going to do something with the black guy, and the black guy just socked him up. You know what I mean? That bag didn't help him. I don't know what he was trying to do with it. I don't know if that's a why thing or what. I don't know. But it looked bad, So a couple of days after I had shot Viejo that thing, man, they got a hold of Valentine and they used them for a pin cushion, So maybe that's what it was for, I don't blame them for not telling me that it was going to be used or what they needed it for. I wouldn't have gave it up anyways, okay? Because I just didn't trust them. I didn't know them. I'm from Maravilla, and they were talking. I could hear them mention certain things, and I kept hearing that coming up. So I didn't trust them. I'm like, like what's going on here? You know what I mean? I was young at the time, I was still learning, and I was trying to keep my eyes open, my ears open, and my mouth shut, and trying to peep out what was going on around me, and there was things happening that I didn't understand. Anyways, it's gonna be like that for anybody who hasn't done time, who hasn't been in and out of the county jail. When you get to the county jail, things are gonna be happening that you don't understand, I don't know. Sometimes I get the impression that people think that it's firme, like it's firme to come out and, yeah, I was busted, I went to the joint, this and that. Let me tell you something, man. Especially on a 4-yard. I have a lot of homies that did time on the spend all their time on a 4-yard. I was on a 3-yard, but things are more serious on a 4-yard. Things are checked more tightly and ran more tightly than even a 3-yard. There's actually a huge difference. In my opinion, from what I hear, from what I saw, from where I was at, there's a huge difference, and it's no joke. The homies in there, they don't play. You get out of line, bad things will happen to you, man. Trust me. I heard Gunner on one of his rants about something else. He had mentioned how people don't know. They don't realize until they're there how serious things get, And I thought about it. And I'm always hearing things about what's going on in there, from different homeboys that been all over the place, and have been up all through them 4 yards up there and paroled from there. They never came down to a 3 yard. They stood they stood staying busy. You know what I mean? And if you're not cut out for it, man, you're gonna have a hard time. And I know a lot of people think like, oh yeah, it's gonna be free, man. I don't care, man. I'm down with, down with all of that and this and that. Well, we'll see. Um, yeah, guarantee your life will change. It'll be nothing like the life that we live out here. All the good things that we got, all the good things that we could have if we work for it. And there's a lot of people in there, not even my homies, but just people that I know are in there. I wish they could get out. Even people that I really didn't like out here. I wish they could get out because I know they're not, and they're gonna eventually get really old and probably die in there. And who knows? There's a lot of people you never would expect their careers to go down the drain, and you could be doing all the right things and you could be at any height and things could turn, things could happen. People could just start hating on you and start politicking on you, and if it gets to that, your ass is through. So try to be careful. I know you older you vatos know what's up, but you younger people, especially those of you that haven't been to prison, be very cautious, man, with your freedom. Protect it like it's something precious, because it is. Really is. Try to be out here for your family and your loved ones when they need you. That's what's important. God bless you. God bless your family. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you very much.